Hello, my name is Michael O'Keefe, aka The Movie Wizard. If you enjoy this interview and want to hear more top-notch film industry conversations, please press the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell to stay in the know. Oh, Alan Trong and Lydia Look, tell my audiences what they should be prepared for before they watch Paper Tiger.
My answer to that would be leave your expectations at home. Don't think you're coming in for a roller coaster ride. Well, you are coming in for a roller coaster ride, but the movie is a lot more than what it seems to be. So I think you should leave your expectations at home, or any kind of preconceived notions of what you think the movie is about, because the movie will actually surprise you, I think, in ways that you don't think the movie is going. So I think you're in for an unexpected ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird experience to even like sit on a question like that for like I think any movie as a actor, because like ultimately it's not really up to us to like how like an audience takes it and whatnot. Yeah. I hope people are like moved by it.
Okay, cool. So, how did both of you respectively prepare for your roles?
I drew a lot from my own personal experiences, especially with the mental illness aspect, and especially with being especially with the whole concept of especially my character, with being a fish out of water, being in a space by herself. So I drew a lot of it from my own personal experience, especially the mental illness aspect for me. That was close for me. That hit home for me. So for me, the prep started from there, and it organically kind of evolved when I met Alan, and we started to develop a mother and son relationship prior to shooting the movie. In the pre-production stage, which I believe was about 2 to 3 weeks, Alan, right? We had like 2 to 3 weeks to ourselves. We organically developed a relationship between the two of us that when we started principal photography, that just sort of segued into it very organically, which I felt was, for me, was a great achievement for me, in developing the character and the relationship between mother and son.
Yeah, for me, I just same thing, kind of piggybacking off of what Lydia was saying. She invited me over to her home in Van Nuys, and we just like kind of shared stories and stuff, like what it's like to be Asian American, and the experience of having a lack of awareness of mental health in like especially like Southeastern Asian cultures. Yeah, I took like some movement classes and stuff. Just because like the character of like a bird, just to kind of that helped a lot for me. And then we just kind of like rehearsed and stuff, man. Yeah.
All right. Tell me how you created the tension that your characters had during those more intense scenes.
I think that really came out during filming, just as actors, just as two people going through something. I mean, the situations were very real. And honestly, for me, I don't know about Alan, but it didn't require a lot of acting. A lot of what happened, I think, on screen between mother and son, I think a lot of it wasn't seen on camera. It was simmering off screen. It's been developing over the weeks. And so when we actually got in front of the camera and we started filming it, I didn't feel like we needed a lot of pushing or acting to get that going, because a lot of it was in the prep. And honestly, the script was very strong. The dialogue and the situations that were written by Paul were really wonderful. And as an actor, I really appreciated that, because, when the material is really good, all you have to do is just say it. You say it, and then it builds up, and then it just goes like a torrential rainfall. Everything just comes out. So I'll have to say that a lot of Paul's writing was really really helpful in getting all the tension and all the, especially for the gnarly scenes. I call them the gnarly scenes between the son and mother. I think I would give a lot of credit to Paul for the script.
A lot of it seemed, I mean, like just very natural. Like, yeah, I felt very lucky to, have a scene partner like Lydia to just bounce off of. A lot of times, sometimes you have to find different ways, I guess, to make things live, but it always felt very like, oh, like we're in it, like, even from the get-go. I mean, even like in the auditions and stuff, in the chem reads and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, that's that was pretty uncomfortable in a good way, you know. It was like, ooh, okay, let's do this.
I think Ellen and I learned very early on, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ellen, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Ellen and I learned very early on not to push things, you know, not to push the scenes or the relationships. And I think we trusted each other, you know, and that started from the pre-production. So I would say a lot of what you see on camera was developed off camera, off screen. Like it was work that we've done, you know, over the weeks, and that
yeah.
was very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely felt very like looked after by Lydia.
Oh,
But then at times I would like we would do like really intense stuff, but then I felt like I don't know, like held at the same time, which was cool. Yeah.
How was Paul as a director?
is he around?
Oh,
He was wonderful actually to work with. He was very I think Paul came into shooting the movie with a very clear idea of what he wanted from the movie. And he was very open to discussion with us, you know, with whatever we wanted to do with our characters and the scenes. But at the same time, I think he had an ironclad vision of what his film was going to be. And he would sit down with me, and you know, if there was one or two things I didn't quite grasp, or you know, I was like trying to get him to come my way for a certain scene or a certain thing. um, you know, after the whole shoot, looking back at it, I think he was very clear on what he wanted. And, you know, he was very open to the discussion, you know, with whatever you wanted to ask him or develop. But at the same time, I think he guided us towards a place that he knew where he wanted to go. So he was very sure. I think he had a very sure hand. And for a first time director for a feature film, I think he did an amazing job, not just with the cast, but with the crew and with everything else. He had a very even hand throughout the thing.
Yeah, he's incredibly unique, man. I don't think there's another Paul Kowalski out there. He's very stylistic, you know.
Mm.
He comes from the UK, but I think he's like spent some time with Saudi Arabia.
Philippines.
Oh, Philippines. Okay. But I think also Saudi Arabia. I don't know.
Yeah,
We
that too.
don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think he's just a very worldly person. So like, um, like leading up to the film, like having conversations with him, um, it was nice, you know.
I think Paul is a child of many continents, like
Definitely,
me.
definitely,
Yeah,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and we bonded from that right from the start. And I think he brings a very unique worldview into this film. You know, even though being a Polish Caucasian man, you know, living in Los Angeles, I felt that his take on the whole immigration issue and the whole immigrant experience came from a very personal space, from a personal place from him, and a very truthful place, because you know he's been a child of many, you know, continents growing up, and I think that afforded him a very unique worldview.
like, was there ever a day of the shoot that was just so harsh emotionally? And how do you bounce back from something like that?
Oh, dude, every day, like
Yeah.
it just felt like every day was like, God, the stakes are just so high today. Like there was no day that was like, I mean, maybe there was like one. I just felt like at least for me, I felt like every scene was just like, this is stressful. Like, and not in a bad way, but it was like, man, like the payoff is gonna be like super dope if like I put in the work, you know. Because some days you'll have on certain films or TV, it's like, oh, I can just kind of relax today and just I don't know. Maybe I'm just not there yet as an actor where I can just relax into it, but like I just felt like every day was like it just felt really like oh shit, like not in a bad way though, in a very like creative and like alive way. But I
Well,
don't know.
piggyback on that, I think it was a very, very low budget film. You know, seriously, we were really we were counting our dollars and cents on this movie, making this movie. And when that happens in a situation like that, you're not afforded the luxury of big Marvel movies or big tentpole movies where you can shoot a scene 100 times and then pick the best. We basically just went once or twice, and that was it. You know, we didn't have any more time to pay anybody else to stick around. You either hit it or you don't hit it. So I think that that part caused a little, well, that part was stressful. you know,
Yeah.
because, you know, as actors, we always want to, you know, be as truthful as we can. And sometimes the first take and the second take may not afford you that.
You know, it was like stressful, but at the same time, because I think there's like an idea of like integration. There can be like both worlds of it where yes, it was definitely stressful, but like at the same time, it kind of helped in a way. I don't know if like you felt this way, Lydia, but like when you know that like, oh man, I have to get on this one because we're short on time, it kind of helped like, I don't know, with concentration, I guess. I don't know.
All right. So, Alan, just to divert a little bit, what's it like to shoot a huge project like the Tomorrow War and Alita, the Battle Angel?
Oh, super different, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one, my part in those movies are a lot smaller than, you know, the character that I kind of carried in Paper Tiger, but yeah, like those were just like amazing experiences. Alita was in Texas. That was when I was living there and I was just kind of starting to get into acting. It was like CGI, you know, like 4 hour every morning doing prosthetics and stuff. I was like, oh, this is a lot of work. Is this like every movie? um, but no, it was really cool, man. I was just really fortunate to be a part of that one. And the Tomorrow War was also like, yeah, I just feel like very lucky to just even be in that space. And you know, we got to go to Iceland, and I think with like bigger budget movies, it's like way different, you know. It's just you have like a vast amount of resources, and so yeah, the approach is definitely, it feels different but the same. I don't know, but yeah, both were great. Thanks for asking about that.
I just wanted to say I saw Alita Battle Angel at the Chinese theater. Those
Oh,
my
word, the
yeah.
TCL.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
word.
So it's a special experience for me. Unfortunately, I had to leave it there. I really enjoyed the movie Paper Tigers. Thanks so much for your time, guys. Do you have a final thought you'd like to end with?
I'd like everybody to, you know, support our film, and please, if you can, try and see our film. I think it's an important little film, and it speaks volumes. And you know, so please come see our film. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Michael.
Good to meet you, man.
Bye.